If it feels like a lot, congratulations, because that's the way it's supposed to feel. We're going to get into it. Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome back. This is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. I cannot take credit for that quote. That is something I heard Nipsey say just today. If your situation feels like a lot, that's the way it's supposed to feel. That is exactly where God stretches us. That is not your breakdown, but your breakthrough. Now, I know it feels like a breakdown. I know it feels like we cannot go on. I know it feels like it's not sustainable. But that's the very point where God wants us to push past through. That is also the exact point where most people give up. That's the point. If you are in a situation right now where you feel like you just can't go on, like something has got to give, something has got to release. And I know if we're not careful, we may mistake this as I can't do it anymore. I can't go on like this. But what I feel is actually being communicated when we're feeling like I can't go on, I can't continue this route, something needs to release. What's really saying is your breakthrough needs to release. The relief needs to release in that moment. That's what the uncomfortability is communicating. And you're feeling it. You're feeling the discord of your old life and where you were and your new life. And you are just there, about to push through. So that discomfort, if we are not careful, we will mistake it as, this is where I have to stop and get off because I can't do this another day. I can't do this another month. I can't have another year like this. No, you are closer than you've ever been. You are actually closer than 99% of the world. And if you give up now, you will join the 99% who have given up on all they're meant to become. I'm praying that you push past, that you push straight through that wall, that exhaustion that you feel, that weariness, that heated room. I feel like God turned up the heat on me. I am not kidding when I say it feels like God has turned up the heat to like a 9th degree. And I know He has, because this is what that new life that I've been dreaming about, that new life that I've been writing about, that new life I've been praying about, that new life that I decided I'm going to step in and do the thing every single day, and I'm not going to stop until I reach the top. God is telling me this is exactly what it means. This is what it feels like when you're at the top. So, can you take the heat? Because this is what it's going to feel like. Or can you not? I don't know about you, but I can take the heat. It is no coincidences that I've been talking to God for about a week about everything that we're doing here on the Ultimate Love Letter has seemed to just be amplified, and like the work has just been multiplying. And I'm like, God, when did you turn up the heat? Like, as soon as I got back to LA, it's like on a whole nother level. Like we're being reached more. We're taking more meetings. More brands are coming out the woodwork because that's what happens when you're aligned. You're getting opportunities that you would have never even thought to think about, but yet they're reaching you. And at the same time, I'm learning so much about how to grow our channel, how to grow my Instagram. And so that implies, I got to be putting myself out there. So that means more screen time, more record time. That's a lot. Just in that alone is so much. But then you times that with the people who God is sending you right now that want to collaborate with you. And now that takes an amount of time to kind of sit and take meetings and phone calls and meet in person and make sure that it's a line fit. What is happening? You know what's happening? Your dream life. That's what's happening. So yes, today when I heard Nipsey talk about how if it feels like a lot, just know it is supposed to feel like that. It is not supposed to be comfortable. If it was comfortable, believe me, everybody would have it. Everybody would. But that's what separates us, unfortunately. Or that's what separates the greats from the ones who are afraid to be great. He said that the discomfort, the situation should actually be, and I'm going to cry when I hear this because he spoke to my soul, because this is exactly how it feels for me right now. Maybe you're in the same situation. It should feel like a burden to a degree. And when he said that, I was like, that's the word. And I know that we don't want to use the word burden because we're doing God's work, right? When we are aligned with God and we're doing everything God laid on our heart, and it's usually what you love to do anyway. If you're doing it right and you're doing it consistently, no one's clapping for you. The late nights, the early mornings, it does feel like a burden to a certain point. It feels like I could just be sleeping in right here. I could just say, nope, I want to watch TV right here. I can just say, nope, I want to be out in the company of friends right here. But because something is calling deep within, because something is burning inside of you, that you can't stop. That's where I think the saying comes from. Can't stop, won't stop. You just can't stop. You prioritize. You actually begin to look at, just organically without even thinking, you just know what your priorities are. My priority is being about God's work. My priority is getting on that mic. My priority is getting on screen and preaching the gospel. My priority is trying to bring as many souls with me. That's the priority. So no, I can have a hang time with you another night. I can turn on Netflix this weekend, perhaps. But right now is go time. And that does feel a bit burdensome, because believe me, I can think of a million ways on how I could be spending my time. But honestly, that's not true, because none of it, and I mean not one thought in my mind that I can think of how I'd rather be spending my time even compares to the way I spend my time when I'm spending my time right here on the ultimate love letter, right here in God's presence, right here with you. This is the peak that I've been after. This is the peak where God wants me. This is the peak where I become exactly who I am meant to be. So give that up for date night. I rather not. I think not. So I just want to encourage you, friend. I don't know where you're at, but if life feels like it's a lot and you just don't know how you're going to go on, I want to tell you that is exactly where God wants you. That is where He is working. That is where He is stretching you. That is where you have to build up, or you are building up. If you're in it, then you are in the middle of building up that perseverance to become the person that you're dreaming of becoming, the person that you are working towards becoming. This is what it takes. Think about whatever it is that you have in your mind on where you want to be, what you want to get out of life, what you want to fulfill, whatever that is, get that vision right now clear in your mind. Once you have it, now I want you to reverse the thoughts. What does the day look like for that individual? How do they spend their days? Are they waking up early? Or are they sleeping in? Are they hitting the gym? Or are they reaching for the pizza in the fridge? Are they meditating? Or are they looking for distractions to keep them from alone time? Are they doing something every single day? And I mean every single day, no matter how small, to move them towards the needle. And that can look like anything. It can look like studying those that are living in the craft that you want to build, doing the business that you want to build. It can look like watching documentaries that are extremely knowledgeable on what you want to become, doing research, are you doing things and feeding your mind? That can look like, that is a part of also becoming what you're meant to be. Anything, look at your actions. When we get in bed at the end of the night, we should be able to think back on our day, and we should be able to connect the dots, how so many actions we took in that day pointed straight back to the person we want to become tomorrow. If you get to the end of the day, you crawl in bed and you think back, what did I do? And not a single action pointed towards the person you want to become. I'm here to tell you, you are not on track to achieve your vision. It should be every single day. Now, every single day will look different. Some days, all you can do to support the person you're going to become tomorrow is take a yoga class. That's been me so many nights. All I could do today, God, is show up. I took a yoga class. But is it aligned with that superstar, that powerful being that I am becoming? Yes, it is. She would definitely be in yoga. So yeah, check. I did something that supported my vision of myself tomorrow. Sometimes it just looks like I just snuggled up with a book, some type of self-help, some type of inner healing. Sometimes it's just I meditated to bring up whatever triggers, to understand what's going on within me. Sometimes I just sat with myself and felt the emotions. That also supports the vision that I hold in my head of my future for tomorrow. But it must be something, and it must be every day consistently. I'm here to tell you, if at the end of the day, nothing is adding up, nothing is being intentionally directed towards who you are envisioning of becoming, that's something to look at. And that's something to get right. That is something to get aligned with. But for the rest of us that are in the fight, that are remaining consistent, and now we've reached the magical point of it seems like a lot, according to Nipsey, that's where greatness is created. That's where the vision of the greatness is created, in that exact moment, in that exact feeling. There are clues. God will always be dropping you little clues on where you are. I know we don't know the time where it's all going to come full circle for us. We don't know the time where our record is going to hit number 1 on the Billboard charts. We don't know the time when our book is going to reach bestseller, but there will be clues. And if we're not careful, we may miss the clues that he's giving in the discomfort that you're feeling. Thank you so much for joining this convo. Just wanted to drop that because I love y'all and I know it is meant for you if you have landed here. Thank you so much for joining this convo. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again real soon. Bye for now.